Hello everyone. In this session, again we will continue our discussion regarding to the example related to conditional statement and loop statement and the use of same in the mechanical engineering problem. So go to the next example. Here you have been given data that we need to evaluate the flow rate across different section of the pipeline that transports the water. The pipeline consists of several sections with varying diameters and the pressure drops. Here the goal is to determine if the flow rate in each section is within an acceptable range, and the acceptable range provided is between 10 liter per second to 50 liter per second. So some of the parameters are given for the each section. Let us first define all the parameters in the format of variables. So here as you can see, the target flow rate at the lower side being 10, the target flow rate at the maximum acceptable range, that is 50. The pipe diameters are given in the list format, that is 0.05, 0.1, 0.1, 0.08 and the 0.07. Same way the pressure drops are given for the same section, that is 300, 500, 400 and 350. The pipe length given being the 100 meter and the frictional factor is given to be 0.02 and it is assumed to be constant. Now the further data given is we need to use the Darcy-Weisbach equation to calculate the fluid velocity. Next we need to calculate the flow rate, and again we need to print if the flow rate is within the acceptable range or not. That means if it is low, normal or high. Now for the conversion purpose also we have been given data that we will use the conversion factor of 1000 to convert cubic meters per second to liters per second. But being in the field of mechanical engineering, we again must need to have the knowledge of unit conversion based on the need. It is not necessary that in every programs the same details will be given. Now we know that to calculate the flow rate through each section, we need to iterate through each section. And for the iteration purpose, we are having the concept of loops. So initially, let us create for loop, and that loop will iterate through each pipe diameter and the pressure drop at specific section. So here the conversion factor we have stored as a variable, and next we have started our loop, that is we will start with section 1 for I in range, the length being the pipe diameters. So for these four different diameters we have considered the length. Now we will iterate through each diameter and each pressure drop. So diameter equal to pipe diameter of I. I refers to the index position 0, 1, 2 based on the length provided. Same way the pressure drop at the same section is considered as pressure drops of I from the given list. Next we need to calculate the fluid velocity, and the equation for the same is 4FLV square divided by 2GD. So based on that we need to make V being the major variable and remaining all the variables on the right hand side. So the velocity equal to the equation reframed as pressure drop into diameter divided by 4 into F into pipe length and whole raised to 1 by 2, that is the 0.5. Next we need to calculate the flow rate, and the equation of flow rate being the area into velocity. Velocity we have already calculated in the previous step and it is stored into the variable named velocity. Then it will multiply with the cross-sectional area. So the equation for the same is also mentioned. Now the answer here obtained is the meter cube per second. So we need to convert it into the liters per second, and we may need to use the conversion factor to convert it into the liter per second. So we have mentioned flow rate liter per second equal to flow rate meter cube second into conversion factor, that is 1000. It is not mandatory to store the conversion factor into the variable. You may directly mention the same value during the calculation also. Now next, we need to check based on the given data if the flow rate is within acceptable range or not. We must need to use the if else statements. So if the flow rate lower side is less than the target flow rate, then we will print the data for the specific section as we have used the formatting in our previous question also. And here we will print the final data being the low flow. Same way in ELIF, flow rate at the lower side is greater than the target flow rate at the higher level. So we need to print the final answer to be high flow. And in the else case, if both are same, if it is in the given range, then we will print the normal flow. And after getting any of the answer, we will go to the next section. So to increase the section, we will consider to be the section plus equal to 1. So using this concept, our program will go through each diameter, each pressure drop, then it will calculate the velocity, flow rate, and it will check if the data is available within the acceptable range or not. Run the program to check the output. So as you can see at the section 1, flow rate we obtained is 2.69 liter per second and it is the low flow. Same way you may read the values for the multiple sections also, and if there are more number of sections then you can also include in the given list. So this combination of loop and the conditional statement is very much helpful to come to the conclusion for some of the complex problems and to sort it out in a very simple way. I hope these examples have not only enhanced your understanding of Python programming but also sparked ideas on how to apply these concepts in your engineering work. Remember, the true power of programming lies in its ability to solve problems and save the time. I suggest you all to keep experimenting, keep learning, and let Python simplify your engineering challenges. See you all in the next session.